Hello Greebs! Andy here, and today I wanted to talk to you about fall / October / Halloween reading TBR list kind of thing. So typically I do not do these types of videos because I never know what I'm gonna read before the day that I pick the new book. I have an idea of what I want to read that month or that week, but it always changes. However, with October, I feel like it's a little bit different. There are definitely a lot of Halloween, October type reads that I want to get to this year. So I'm going to provide you a list of all the books I'm going to read. I don't have them because they're all just on Kindle. So I'll just put up a picture and then I'll read you the description of each one. I have a list of books that I'm for sure going to read this fall, meaning I might start next week or I might start October 1st. I don't know. And then these also might drag into November a little bit, like a little bit after Halloween, because I don't know if I have time to get all of them read. But I'll give you my list of for sure October reads, and then I have one or two that I'm like, if I have time, I'll read these as well. So let's just get started. The first one is called The House on Cottage Lane. This is by Ronald Malfi. As you can see by the cover, it looks very Halloween, and that's all I want to read this month is just books about Halloween, about pumpkins, about fall. That's all I'm reading. I'm not reading anything else. This is a short story, and the description here on Goodreads. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing this pumpkin shirt because I thought it was appropriate, even though it's on the back. It's not on the front, so you can't see it, so I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, it's Halloween night, and 12-year-old Brian Ganelin and his friends are ready for a night of trick-or-treating. Unfortunately, Brian's father has made him take along Oliver, the strange kid who moved in next door. When Brian and his friends decide to scare Oliver by daring him to enter an abandoned house on Cottage Lane, an evening of Halloween fun quickly turns into a nightmare. Tell me that that is not exactly what you want to be reading this Halloween season. Also, please feel free to leave a comment of the reads that you want to read this Halloween so that we can have, you know, a collective list. And also, if you want suggestions for reads during fall, I always do fall horror recommendations, and I guess they're usually books that take place in fall or just kind of creepy or fun. I don't know, but I have a few videos of those. I'll leave them linked down below in case you want even more fall recommendations. The next one I have here is called A Night in the Lonesome October. This is by Roger Zelazny, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he a science fiction writer? I think that this was one of my dad's favorite writers, but I could be wrong. But anyways, this one also, oh, it's 280 pages. So the last one was only 24 pages. Super quick short story. And if any of these are wrong, blame Amazon because that's where I got the page numbers from. First look at the cover. This also intrigued me. It looks like kind of old-timey Halloween party type of feel to it. So this description says, all is not what it seems in the murky London gloom. A night-wielding gentleman named Jack prowls the midnight streets with his faithful watchdog Snuff, gathering together the grisly ingredients they will need for an upcoming ancient and unearthly rite. Tell me that you do not want to read this immediately. For soon after the death of the moon, black magic will summon the elder gods back into the world, and all the manner of players, both human and undead, are preparing to participate. Some have come to open the gates, some have come to slam them shut. And now the dead night approaches, so let the game begin. This sounds brilliant. I'm so excited for this one. Next up, a quick 160-page read. This is Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree. I mean, look at that cover. You can't not want to read this. This one just says, a fast-moving eerie tale set on Halloween night. 8 costume boys running to meet their friend Pipkin at the haunted house outside town encounter instead the huge and cadaverous Mr. Moundshroud. As Pipkin scrambles to join them, he is swept away by a dark something, and Moundshroud leads the boy on a tale of a kite through time and space to search the past for their friends and the meaning of Halloween. Are you serious? I have to read this. I am so excited. I cannot wait for October. This again is another short one, 112 pages, and this is called Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt. Well, it says Strag isn't the small, quaint town it appears to be. It's haunted every night by a creature that townfolks refer to as Halloween. Once the sun sets each day, Halloween emerges to collect its treats, a small little offering from each household. The residents comply because no one wants to be the target of Halloween's tricks. But the nighttime of residing in Strag is nothing compared to the yearly ritual Halloween demands of the citizens on All Hallows Eve. So again, this one just sounds like a fun, creepy little Halloween tale, and it sounds kind of folklory, so I'm interested in that. Again, look at the cover. These are all going to be so fun to read. This one I just wrote that it's called Dead Leaves. This one's 129 pages by Keelan Patrick Burke, and I've recently I read the first book from him that I've read this year, and then I read a second one, and that one really blew me away. So I'm excited to read this one. It's called Dead Leaves, 8 Tales from the Witching Season. On Goodreads, it says 8 Tales from the Witching Season, but then the title of the book says 9 stories. So I don't know, but I think it's 9 short stories. And so I think that they're just short stories, but the description here just says 2 brothers find themselves drawn to the only house in the neighborhood not decorated for Halloween. A man returns to his hometown to bury his overbearing mother and finds more than memories awaiting in the shadows of his childhood home. A young girl walks alone on a country road, recalling a rhyme that brings with it memories of death. A teenage boy hoping for romance gets more than he bargained for when the object of his desires introduces him to the object of hers. An aging millionaire awakes buried in a cheap coffin with only a lamp and a bell for company. The son of a woman accused of being a witch accepts the villagers' peace offering at her funeral, and all is not quite as it seems. And then it goes on. You know, they're just short stories. But again, his work has really intrigued me. The cover is very, very Halloween-y, and I've enjoyed what I've read from him so far, so I'm excited to check out this one. A lot of these are shorter stories, so I think I'll be able to get through a lot of them. But the next one that I really want to get through is... oh no, it's not up here. I moved it. It's Dracula by Bram Stoker. And this is a longer one. I think it's probably 300-400-ish pages, but I very much so want to get through Dracula this October. It says, when Jonathan Harker visits Transylvania to help Count Dracula with the purchase of his London home, he makes a series of horrific discoveries about his client. Soon afterwards, various bizarre incidents unfold in England. An apparently unnamed ship is wrecked off the coast of Whitby. A young woman discovers strange puncture marks on her neck, and an inmate of a lunatic asylum raves about the master and his imminent arrival. In Dracula, Bram Stoker creates one of the great masterpieces of the horror genre, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I'm really excited to get through this one. Maybe this could be a book club one. What do you think? Where we could do a live stream or like a discussion or something about it. That might be fun. But it will probably be after Halloween. But yeah, those are my... For sure, I'm going to read those books this October. I hope to read all of those. But I have a few more that are on my list that I'd like to read. And the first one is called, it actually has the same name as the Roger Zelazny book, but this one is by Richard Lehman. This one's a little bit longer, it's 350 pages, but it's also called Night in the Lonesome October. It just says, Ed, a heartbroken college student, finds his life forever changed when he encounters a vast array of creatures that lurk in the darkness. From the seductive to the downright dangerous, when he goes for a walk in the middle of the night. I don't know if I'll have a chance to get to it, but it seems just like a creepy creature story told from Halloween, and I did really enjoy the last Richard Lehman book that I read, so if I am able to get through it, I definitely will. And then also you guys saw that, well, actually let me grab it, one sec. In the last video, you guys saw me unbox this one. This is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, and this one actually takes place on Halloween too, and it's just about a family that's stuck on an island and one of them is a murderer. I read the back cover last video and it sounded really interesting, so if I'm able to get to this one, I will, but this also might be end of October / November read. And then the other one that I'd really like to read that I don't think I'm gonna have a chance to, that also might be like a November, December read, is The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. I have that one somewhere, but I have no idea where it is, but it has good ratings. I don't read a lot of witch books, and I've held on to this one for a long time, and a few of you have messaged me and been like, that was a great read, but this one's quite long, so I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to read it through October, but let's just read it together. It just says, Anne Rice makes real for us a great dynasty of witches, a family given to poetry and to incest. That's Those don't go together. To murder and philosophy, a family that over the ages is itself haunted by a powerful, dangerous, and seductive being. On the veranda of a great New Orleans house, now faded, a mute and fragile woman sits rocking, and the witching hour begins. It begins in our time with a rescue at sea. Rowan Mayfair, a beautiful woman, a brilliant practitioner of neurosurgery, aware that she has special powers but unaware that she comes from an ancient line of witches, finds the drowned body of a man off the coast of California and brings him to life. He is Michael Curry, who was born in New Orleans and orphaned in childhood by a fire on Christmas Eve, who pulled himself up from poverty and who now, in his brief interval of death, has acquired a sensory power that mystifies and frightens him. And these two, fiercely drawn to each other, fall in love and in passionate alliance set out to solve the mystery of their past and his unwelcome gift. The novel moves forward and forward in time, from today's New Orleans to San Francisco to long ago Amsterdam and a chateau in France, in the France of Louis the, oh my gosh, I hate Roman numerals, 14th. An intricate tale of evil unfolds, and unleashing in 17th century Scotland, where the first witch, Suzanne of Mayfair, conjures up the spirit she names Lasher, a creation that spells her own destruction and torments each of her descendants in turn. This sounds very intricate and very interesting, but I'm not a huge person of witch books, but I've wanted to read this one for a very long time. So let me know if you guys think that this is something that I definitely need to read in October, or if I could push it back and read it tomorrow, November, December. So those are the reads that I would like to read in October. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading this fall season / October Halloween TBR list thing. Let me know. And I will see you soon with another horror video. And I'll also see you Sunday at 6 p.m. for our The Eyes Are the Best Part live stream book club thing. So thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.